Men are dressing poor to deceive women. Yo, these men are not messing around out here. I told you, I hear from millionaires all the time. All right. I have dudes literally coming at me like, angry, stop putting our business out there. Angry, stop giving our secrets away. Y'all think this is a game. It's not a game. I told you, these dudes, they will dress just well enough so they don't look homeless, but not so well that they will draw attention. All right. So they dress just well enough to not look homeless, but just just not so well to avoid drawing attention to themselves. So they're not the kind of person that you would really want to go and talk to or approach or have anything to do with necessarily. They don't look like bad guys, but you're not going to think that these are men with money. They drive around in old luxury cars, or some of them don't even drive a car at all. These dudes are not messing around. These are some very scary individuals. Okay? I remember reading a comment on one of my most recent videos where a guy went to a person's house, a wealthy guy's house, a millionaire's house, and he offered to like cut his grass for something like $20. And the millionaire goes, that's not in the budget. $20 to cut the grass. And he said, that's not in the budget. And he said, and the guy who experienced this, he said he really learned something that day about these men. These men don't mess around. So I made a video discussing a guy who lives a very frugal life recently. And his channel is called La Juan FTB. And his video was titled, Why I'm So Frugal. Now, and I'll link you to that video in the description if you want to go and check that video out. But he then dropped another video recently. And we're going to be checking out that video as well. And in that video, he discusses the importance of looking poor. Listen to me. These men are not playing games. Okay? These men are not playing games. Okay? His latest video, this is the first video, Why I'm So Frugal. And his latest video is discussing why it's important to look poor. We're going to be checking that video out. And all I can say is this dude is not getting, this guy, he is serious. He is going all in on this. He is going all in. He actually responded to my video that I made. So this is the video, Men Are Becoming Cheap, where I discussed his frugal video. This guy is really not playing games. My goodness gracious. He's really serious. He walks everywhere. And he responded to my video just actually a couple hours ago at the time of making this video. He responds, laughing my butt off. Any girls want to take me out on a date? Let me know where you taking your boy. This man is not joking, not messing around. He's not playing games. Y'all need to be careful. All right, these wealthy dudes, these men, this is how men build wealth and keep wealth. And I guarantee you, when this dude hits millionaire or whatever, he will continue on this path for the rest of his life. This is just the way they like it. This is the most recent video, Why Looking Poor is Important. We're going to jump into this video. But this dude is not, guys, it's a lifestyle. It is a lifestyle with these men. I'm going to link you to this video as well. I'm going to link you to his channel so you can go and check his channel out, support his content. But I don't know, man. I don't know. These men are not playing games out here in 2024. They're really in that soft guy era. They are not playing games. They are walking away. All right? They're like, I am the prize. I am the prize. They really don't care. And they have no problem saying no. These men have no problem saying no. My gosh. Let's just go ahead and jump right into the video.
I think the biggest thing that holds people back from becoming wealthy is wanting to look wealthy prematurely. Most people confuse being wealthy with looking wealthy and then try to live like a rich person before actually having the means to do so, which then stops their financial growth and in many cases negatively affects their ability to build wealth. And I'm learning from wealthy people whilst on my own journey toward financial abundance. And I see they make some decisions completely differently to poor people. And one of those decisions is to look like they're poor. And in this video, I'll tell you why I completely agree that it's important to look poor while building wealth. You free up your biggest wealth building tool, money. Looking like you're rich is actually really expensive. I was surprised to find out just how many people live in luxurious homes and drive really nice cars, but are drowning financially. This is so common that there's actually a phrase for it called being house poor to describe people that live like this. It's when someone's home is costing them so much more than they can afford that it becomes a liability rather than an asset. I actually even know about a guy that was car poor. He spent 60% of his take-home income every month on car payments, and then a few short months after getting the car, got into an accident and couldn't drive it anymore, but still had the payments to make. Ouch! These people will almost never build wealth because they've taken on huge amounts of debt in order to create this image, and then use a significant portion of their income to pay off these debts and pay to service these expensive items to keep up the image. And that's the problem. It actually stops them from being able to create enough of a gap between the income and the expenses for them to really generate wealth. Rather than spending all of that money on debt payments and on maintaining this expensive vehicle or home, you can free up a lot of cash in your budget living modestly. That can then be used to actually begin building wealth by investing into funds and stocks, business ideas, self-learning, or even building an emergency fund so that when an accident does happen, it doesn't leave you riddled with fear about having to go further into debt. You escape the financial hamster wheel. Another benefit of looking like you're poor is that it allows you to escape the financial hamster wheel. The financial hamster wheel is the process of constantly upgrading our lifestyle with every new achievement. When we get a promotion, we get the urge to upgrade our car. We start feeling for a bigger apartment suddenly, change the places we eat out at, and the types of products we buy at the grocery. This is devious because it has two things that happens that we're not really paying attention to when we upgrade our lifestyle. The first is that our unplanned costs go up together with the lifestyle inflation. For example, a new car will always have new car insurance prices, and it's more expensive to fix if something happens. But what's more important than that is the opportunity cost of living like we're rich now. If you've read any of the books of extremely wealthy people or heard stories about everyday millionaires, they almost exclusively made massive progress financially before even thinking about upgrading their homes and vehicles. And when they do, it's usually for utility or because the cost of the item is so small compared to their net worth that it's like buying something cheap anyway. Looking like you're poor and escaping the financial hamster wheel now allows you to free up all of that extra money you would have spent with every promotion in upgrading your lifestyle, as well as all of the unplanned costs that go along with that, to now add that to the fuel of building your own wealth, which now could allow you to feel financially abundant. Let's say you're currently saving $200 a month. When you get a pay increase of an additional $300 per month, you can save and invest an additional $200 and have a minor increase in your lifestyle with the additional $100. That way, you get to have your money working for you rather than working to impress other people. You can experience peace. One day, I'm sitting talking to my financial mentor at the time, this older guy that basically owns a small city where I'm from. And I asked him why he drove around in this Corolla, considering we're from a culture where looking flashy was kind of the thing you would expect someone with money to do. And he told me when he was younger, he had the BMW, but then he realized that the Corolla can get him to the same place and cost less in gas. And that really left an impact on me. He didn't see the BMW or the Corolla as a measure of his worth or what he could do. He literally just saw it as a tool to go from A to B. He had a bunch of real estate that was giving him money monthly that he would be able to afford multiple BMWs. But he just got to a place where he didn't tie his worth to the things that he had, and he was able to live peacefully and contently. Trying to look rich requires both a lot of effort and a lot of money, especially when your bank account says you're not there yet. You have to constantly be spending. But looking poor when you're not actually poor, on the other hand, It's super easy. There's a sense of peace I get knowing that every purchase really is just for my own happiness and contentment, and at a price point I genuinely can afford. I never need to worry about what new expensive clothing article to buy or of how I'm going to pay this huge list of bills at the end of the month. I just live in peace. And there's the added benefit of peace in your relationships as well. Because looking like you're poor allows you to keep a pretty low profile, and so you have pretty low expectations. But if you're looking like a rich person, then you're attracting people to you that want to live a rich lifestyle or people that are looking for a handout, which then can cause a lot of stress, especially if you're broke and you don't have it yet. You're just looking that way. You can't have freedom. I promise you that everyone knows someone that lives in middle class hell silently. This is maybe my number one reason for wanting to get wealthy, to avoid this. What middle class hell is where there's someone that has a really good job and they also have all of the nice flashy things that go along with the role that they have. Maybe they're an engineer, so they live in a very nice apartment, drive a luxury vehicle, and eat out at nice restaurants with his wife and kids, but they feel trapped by their job. This person makes a lot of money, but also spends a lot of money too. And because of this, they're never truly able to build enough wealth to live life on their own terms or to quit when they don't want to do their job and go looking for something else. People in these situations usually externally look really well put together, and usually they are. But if you look a little deeper at their living situations, you'd realize that they're spending almost everything that they're making. And this isn't just for the middle class. This is how the majority of people think. Living modestly regardless of your income levels, prioritizing emergency funds and investments into yourself and your future allows you to have more freedom when it comes to earning a living. It allows you to leave jobs when you're around people that you don't like working with and develop a nest egg that would allow you to take significant time off of work when you're stressed out so you can actually enjoy the richness of life with people you care about and the job that you have.
Now, guys, this is an important factor to consider. Because of the way that these people live, people like him live, they can travel around the world at a moment's notice. He's talked about being able to, I believe, travel on, travel on an airplane and spend more for that extra seat, travel first class. So you can enjoy your plane ride even more. Being able to afford, things that, things that you really want, being able to live a lot better because you are conserving and cutting out the fat, the things that you absolutely don't need. I've said this, most rich people, most millionaires right now, they're living far below their means. Okay? I had one millionaire. Like, I'm constantly running into these guys, they're constantly seeking me out. I've read some of the emails I've gotten from these guys, and you know, one guy tells me, I don't think he was even 40 years old yet. He already made his million. And he said that his lifestyle still hadn't changed. He was still living in the same, like, 2-bedroom apartment. And, you know, didn't really have a lot of possessions. And he was just living far below his means. And that was it. And that's just how these men live. Because when you don't have a woman in your life, you don't have a relationship, you're just focused on yourself, your own well-being, suddenly you don't have expenses. You don't have crazy expenses. Well, you're not living for others. You're not trying to show off. Because, guys, think about this. Here's another big problem. You drive a brand new car, an expensive car that's draining your wealth, costs more to insure. People are looking at it. What is it doing for you? Not a damn thing. And a lot of the more recent cars, they're not even that great. Okay, the newer features that you had, like heated seating that came standard in old cars, those are now luxury features that are on subscription plans. You need to pay like $3,000 extra or $5,000 extra for it, or you can join a subscription plan later on and pay monthly to access heated seating in a car. Like, this is greedflation versus these guys who are driving around in cars from 20 years ago, nice cars from 20 years ago. They change the transmission if they need to, or the engine, $1,500, and it drives perfectly. There's a lot of these cars that drive well up to 600,000 miles. 600,000 miles. But idiots, like many of us, myself included, are looking at these Tesla cars like, oh my gosh, I want one of these bad boys. But the fact of the matter is that once the battery goes bad in these electric cars, it costs more to replace the battery. These batteries are costing like $20,000 to replace. It costs more to replace the battery than it does than the actual value of the car itself. This is the reason why I've said this before, that $20,000 in the hands of a man who knows how to manage money is more valuable than $200,000 in the hands of a man who does not. And there are people who say, "Oh, you're an idiot. That's bullcrap. $200,000 is $200,000." From my own experiences as a man, going from a person that at one point did not know how to manage money, I can share my triumphs and my failures so that you don't repeat these mistakes. And a person who knows how to properly manage money will live a substantially better, wealthier life, happier life than a man who has lots of money but has no idea how to manage it. And if you don't know how to manage money and you don't know how to use the word no, and another thing, if you don't know how to carry yourself, for example, as a result, guys, people are watching your wallet. People, when you go overseas to other countries, people are watching your wallet. You don't think that they are. They watch your wallet. They watch how much you spend at the store. If you go to the store and you pick up items, groceries, they start to figure out how much money you actually have. They'll go little things, little things. All right? And then they start finding every possible way they can use to get access to your money. And you just think that these people are kind. So you try to return their kindness. They will play upon your kindness. Okay? And they will use kindness to draw you in and play upon it because you are not hip to the game. This world is an entire world of psychology. That's why you have to know what you're doing when you go overseas, because a lot of these people, they will hate you just because you come from another country. You come from a first world country. And they will say, "Oh, you are a bandejo. You're an idiot. I tricked you. I got your money." That's one of the reasons why it's important to look like you are poor and be very careful who you associate with. Because if you do not know, people will basically say, "Oh, I just need a little more, a little more, a little more," until they drain you of everything. And then guys, they will play mental games. You have to understand, it's all about it's all about theft in this world for a lot of people. Theft and manipulation. And if they don't have the skill sets to create value for themselves, they will find someone else who has done this and steal it from them. That's one of the reasons why it's important to look like you don't have money. You look just above homeless, be clean, like this guy. If you look at how this guy is dressed, look at him. All right, black t-shirt. This is a very clean dude. He does not look like he has money. He looks poor. And I've said this before. These are the dudes with the money. Remember, before I even made this video, I said these are the dudes with the money. The dudes who look just above homeless, but not dressed well enough to draw attention to themselves. These are the dudes with the money. All right? The dudes driving around in fancy cars, wearing gold chains. Those are brokies. Those are broke boys. They can't afford their monthly payments. They'll be living in that car soon. All right? Look for the old luxury cars. All right? Look for the pickup trucks. Look for those cars. Those are the cars that these people drive. Okay? Look at those. Look for the guys that are walking around. They look just above homeless, all right? But just above homeless, but just below being able to draw attention to themselves. They are trying to be inconspicuous. Those are the men you should be watching. But people don't think like that. People don't think like that. All right? These are tricks of the wealthy. Be wealthy and then live far below your means. And you will always have money. And then the craziest part is when hard times come, everything is on sale. So basically, when people are buying, that's when you should be selling, and when people are selling, that's when you should be buying. Basically, you should be when everyone is being greedy. That's when you should be most conservative. Okay, that's I'm just being very very clear. That's when you should be very very careful. All right. When times are really good, that's when people are spending money. That's when the prices of everything is going to be high. That's when you should be pulling back. When times are bad, it's a fire sale. Everything is on sale. That's when you have an excess amount of capital. And that's when you can say, well, this is still a good investment. This is a very good investment. Right now, people are like, oh, the world is coming to an end. It's over. I can't even afford my bills. That's when you can buy things up dirt cheap. All right. Things that would usually cost $1,000, you get it for $100. You could get it for $100 and even turn around, resell it immediately and make a profit. But the person who sold it right then and there for so little because they were desperate for money in that moment and they needed that money desperately in that moment. These are the secrets of the wealthy. Yeah, guys. If you want to watch the full video, it's linked in the description, so you can go and check out the full video. Linked in the description. But this is just how it is. All right. Men are dressing poor to deceive not only women but people around them, so that they can continue building wealth safely while flying under the radar and then living far below their means. So not only will they have continued wealth growth, but then they will also have generational wealth if they do have children later on. By the way, guys, if you're enjoying the content, consider checking out the Men Walking Away channel. There's a link to in the description of the video. You can go check it out, subscribe to the channel, enjoy the content. I release daily videos on that channel, linked in the description. And let me know what you think regarding everything we discussed here today. Men are dressing poor to deceive women and everyone else around them. Let me know your thoughts. We'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, Men Walking Away, and cheers.